For his part, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman expressed his eagerness to visit Egypt and meet President Fattah al-Sisi soon. He discussed Saudi Arabia's efforts to implement Vision 2030 and praised contributions of Egyptian workers to the kingdom's development, anticipating an increase in their numbers. The Crown Prince also mentioned his anticipation for the first meeting of the Saudi-Egyptian Coordination Council in October, pending coordination between both sides. Bin Salman highlighted the importance of the electricity grid interconnection and expressed hope for additional support for companies involved in renewable energy in Egypt.
Welcome back. We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for this afternoon, Dr. Ahmed Khattabi, economic expert. Dr. Ahmed, a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good night to all of you.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your time. And let me start, Doctor, by talking to you a bit about the latest visit and meeting between the Egyptian Prime Minister and the Saudi officials. The Saudi side comprised of several officials, including the Foreign Minister, as well as the Commerce Minister and Investment Minister, and the latest agreements that have been highlighted and the discussions between the Prime Minister and the Saudi officials.
Yes, yesterday, Dr. Mustafa Al-Thani, Prime Minister of Egypt, make a special visit to Saudi Arabia in order to encourage investments between the two countries. Our Prime Minister will deliver a speech during the expanding meeting with the major Saudi investors and representatives of Saudi private sector and institutions. This agreement to protect and encourage Egyptian Saudi investment, which is scheduled to be finalized soon, in a very important steps in promoting and ensuring stability. And Dr. Mustafa Al-Thani also sent a special message to Saudi Arabian investors and Saudi Arabian government. All the problems were solved related to the investment, except 14 problems only solving in the coming 2 or 3 months by maximum. Prime Minister Al-Thani during the meeting with a number of Saudi investors sent a special thanks to Saudi Arabian King Salman and Prince Mohammed bin Salman for the wonderful relation, especially in the field of economy between Egypt and Saudi Arabia. The relationship between Egypt and Saudi Arabia are brotherhood and partnership, and it's unique relation between the two countries, and this reflects solid relation between the two leaders of the country, President Fattah al-Sisi, President of Egypt, and the King Mohammed and the King Salman and the Prince Mohammed bin Salman also. We are working together with Saudi Arabia to enhance joint cooperation between Egypt and Saudi Arabia in various files, and we work to overcome also understand and unconventional way to. And we think out of the box in many different investment environments in order to have a wonderful wonderful file in the field of economy. And Egypt expects to attract more than $5 billion from Saudi Arabian investors in the coming year as a foreign direct investment in Egypt.
Absolutely.
The government also preparing to form a committee to review investment legislation with the participation of the private sector also. Dr. Mustafa Al-Thani also sent a key message about the government aims to form a committee to examine all the legislation and legislation regulating investment in Egypt with the participation of the private sector, businesses, association, Egyptian and foreign investors, and the Central for Industry also. This comes within the framework of the integrated vision of Dr. Mustafa Al-Thani government to enhance the business environment as one of the goals of its program, which extended for 3 years during the period of 2024 until 2027, and they carry the slogan, "Together we build a sustainable future." Together we build a sustainable future, especially with Saudi Arabian country.
Yes.
The government is also preparing to establish the balanced work rules for company and workers to benefit from a dynamic, productive labor market, while establishing a follow-up and inspecting system to encourage competences, provided business incubators and accelerators, as well as establishing a strong framework to protect intellectual property rights. Property rights is very important in the coming investment division also. This trend comes within a framework of restoring investors' confidence and enabling the private sector to achieve its full potential, which will reflect positively on a sustainable economic growth and supporting the country's aspiration toward a more prosperous and stable economic future. It is worth noting that the Egyptian government is setting its sights during the next phase on assigning the President of the Republic to work to achieve a number of goals, most important of which is reserving the determination of Egypt's national security in light of region and international challenge, and working to achieve strong, sustainable and comprehensive growth rate in most sectors, as well a file building also, as well as a file building the Egyptian human being, especially in the field of health and education, continuing effort to developing political participation, continuing to follow up on security, stability, and the combating terrorism file, developing the file of culture and national awareness, and moderating religious disclosures in a way that consolidates the concept of citizenship and societal peace.
Yes,
indeed. The Egyptian government also programs aims to achieving 4 main strategies: objective, protecting security, building humanity, building an economy, achieving Egyptian national stability and competitive political. It should be noted that the program objectives have been determined based on mainly the objective of Egypt Vision 2030.
Yes, 2030, absolutely. Absolutely right. I'd like to thank you very much, Khattab, our economic expert. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and your insight, and for joining us on today's edition of Cairo Local Times. Still continuing with more news, the Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati and the visiting Hungarian Minister of Trade and Foreign Affairs Peter Szijjártó held a press conference following their talks in Egypt on Tuesday. Speaking at the press conference, Abdulati expressed his keenness to boost ties with Hungary in all fields. He said the talks discussed regional and international issues of mutual concern, stressing Egypt's support for Hungary during its current presidency of the European Union. He said the field of transportation is witnessing strong cooperation between Egypt and Hungary. Abdulati also thanked Hungary for offering educational scholarships for Egyptian students, which he said has now reached over 200.